The views and opinions expressed by the host of Black Talk Radio News and any guest represents their views and their views only and do not necessarily represent the views of the Black Talk Media Project or the Black Talk Radio Network. Good afternoon. You are tuned in to Black Talk Radio. My name is Scotty Reed. I am broadcasting from behind the enemy lines of USA Inc. It's a Tuesday afternoon as I broadcast from North Carolina. It is September the 12th, 2017. Do want to welcome in those who were tuned in to the station, listening to a rebroadcast of Mind, Body, and Spirit Radio. Please check out their archives and the archives of other broadcasters and podcasters on Black Talk Radio Network.com. So during the next 2 hours, I'll be coming at you with some music, some news and commentary. We do have a guest scheduled to call in here shortly, just about a quarter after the hour. We should be joined by Kwabena. Did I say Robina? Yes, I did. I meant Brother Kwabena Rasuli of Clear the Airways Project, who is a friend of the network out there doing great work trying to clear the airwaves of this weaponized music that's being used against certain communities. So we'll be talking to him, getting a update from the National Black Leadership Alliance concerning their work to begin to use culture as a weapon in the struggle to clear the airways. So definitely looking forward to getting an update from Brother Kwabena Rasuli. Now, before I get into some music, I just want to, I'm going to start doing this, addressing some of the comments that are left on the different segments that we do. We actually do post some of the news segments from this program to our YouTube channel, which is Black Talk Radio. And we get some interesting comments about some of the topics. So I'm going to make that a new segment on Black Talk Radio News. And so the first comment I want to address comes from someone by the name of Derek101, who left a comment on our video about Rodrigo Mad Dog Duterte, that's the Philippine president who is engaged in genocide against his own people, have been doing so since the beginning of this year when reports were coming out. We also saw mass demonstrations in the streets against these extrajudicial killings of people suspected of either using drugs or selling drugs. And I tell you, man, it's some sick people in the Philippines. So let me just read this comment. I just watched your old vid telling people of the Philippines that they were a bunch of beggars, stupid, effing, black. He's cussing me out. Duterte insulted your president. He's talking about Barack Obama, who's not my president. He's not anybody's president. But because he's black, I guess they suspect that Scotty Reed must support Barack Obama or the policies that he put forth. And that I was offended that Duterte called his mama a whore and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, he said that he announced that he will separate with the U.S. and ally itself to Russia and China. He called the United States a human rights violator, accused of massacring the Philippines and many more despicable truth, yet America refuses to leave the Philippines alone. The more you insult us, the more they'll give. What the hell? It only goes to show that America has a lot to lose if the Philippines allies itself with China and Russia. America has failed its oldest ally in the region. So he goes on with some more insults and name calling, acting like a child, all up in his emotions. To clarify what I said, when I first started reporting on this months ago, I was getting some very vitriolic comments, racist comments from people in the Philippines talking about how much they love Duterte and how dare I say something about Filipinos being dragged out in the street and shot in the head like dogs in the freaking street with no trial, no justice. I mean, you call that justice and you support that. And Hitler had high approval ratings in Germany while he and the Nazis were doing what they were doing as well. So, And as far as the Philippines being an ally of the United States, the Philippines is a welfare state of the United States, just like Israel, just like many African countries, just like many South American countries, Central American countries. The United States uses money as a weapon, just like the story we talked about the UK the other day, withdrawing its monetary aid to Nigeria if Nigeria doesn't do more to fight against Boko Haram and what have you. So if you think that the Philippines is an ally, no, you're a welfare state. And that's what I was saying. You know, they got mad because Obama said, we're not going to give you these weapons that we had planned to give you and arm your military with millions and millions of dollars of weapons, and you're out there murdering people in the street and what have you. So, you know, that's what Duterte, who is a self-professed murderer, who admitted to murdering street people when he was a mayor in the Philippines. So, you know, it ain't about our nationalities. It's not even about our race. It's about justice. Do you think it's just for people to be murdered in the street, you know, in the Philippines for either using drugs or being suspected of selling drugs? And the story that this person is commenting on is telling you about how Duterte's son has been linked to a Chinese shipment of meth. $1 million worth of meth was shipped to the Philippines, and Duterte's son has been connected to it. But do you think that he'll be dragged out in the streets and shot in the head like a dog? No, he won't be. So, you know, this is just disgusting and sick behavior. And Donald Trump don't care nothing about the Philippines. He called Duterte and told him what a good job he was doing murdering those non-white people, you know, continuing the work of the United States government when it committed acts of genocide in the Philippines. So now you're doing it to yourselves, or you got a Filipino who is killing other Filipinos in an unjust manner over freaking drugs. So, you know, that I don't know what's wrong with these people unless they got real low self-esteem or something like that. And the Philippines is known as a sex tourism spot. So you dragging drug users or suspected drug users in the street and murdering them, but yet you let all of these Western tourists come over there and use your daughters in however they want to use them sexually. You know, that's sick, man, but you ain't dragging them out them hotels as they commit acts of pedophilia against your daughters. In fact, you were even putting your daughters out there. So that's what I think about y'all commentary. Wow. So another story that I want, that we got some comments on. Now, this isn't something I talked about recently, but it has been getting a lot of comments here lately. And so I did a 2-part video on GMOs, weed, and homosexuality. As y'all know, a member of the Nation of Islam, maybe you don't know, I shouldn't assume that you know, but the Nation of Islam put out this so-called research that said that that the U.S. government is tainting weed. I'm talking about the weed that you smoke, that herb, that plant, and that's legal in so many different states, in about half the states, either recreationally or medicinally. Weed has been legalized. And this research says that the United States government is poisoning the weed to turn black men gay. So I did a lot of research on this. So let me share this comment. This person says that cannabis is a feminine plant. Only the female plants produces buds, and the plant itself, if consumed, will give feminine essence. It's no conspiracy. Also, what the hell does this have to do? Look, so this is a non-black person who got a problem with Black Talk Radio. Ain't nobody making you watch Black Talk Radio videos. Nobody making you listen to Black Talk Radio, okay? And if you started a channel called White Talk Radio, then that would be redundant because most of the channels on YouTube are white people talking, all right? So this is black people talking. It's an industry term. Look it up. But that is just so ridiculous to say that, oh, if you consume female plants, that's going to make you a homosexual. Really? Come on. I tell y'all the comments and the stuff that people believe. Another person said that weed makes frogs gay. Fact. So what this person is referring to is the research of scientist Dr. Tyrone Hayes, who's been a guest on this program. And he did not say the frogs were being turned gay. He said that they were being born. They were being affected. Their sexual organs were being affected. And it was making males feminine. All right. Now, he was talking about atrazine, which is a chemical in the herbicide called Roundup. And as I point out in my research, why would you use weed killer? You can't use weed killer on weed to grow weed. It's going to kill the weed. Again, people, use common sense. This is common sense, critical thinking type stuff, and I actually did the research. They want to talk about studies in the 1960s that the U.S. Army was doing with, it wasn't even weed. It was some other kind of substance, a man-made chemical, and they did not say that it made them people gay. So just talking about past stuff does not mean that it's happening presently. All right, we know the U.S. government was doing experiments on black men, letting them suffer from syphilis instead of treating them with the cure, which they had the cure. Just because that happened in the past isn't evidence that we have some kind of similar experiments going on. Now, again, I'm not saying that these things aren't possible. Yes, they're possible, but you aren't providing any evidence, and the evidence that people are putting out there makes absolutely no sense. One of the chemicals they mentioned, as soon as you throw it on a green plant, it kills the plant. So again, how can you use substances made to kill plants to grow plants? Again, people, use critical thinking. All right, so that's all the comments that I want to address. In terms of some of the past stuff that we have put out. I will make this a regular segment to address some of the comments that are left on our YouTube. Hello, this is Scotty Reed, and thank you for listening to this podcast and sharing it with others. Please consider making a donation to the U.S.-based nonprofit media organization, Black Talk Media Project, in support of its efforts to elevate independent Black voices. You can also support the work by joining the network's social media community, BTR Community, for just $24 a year. Black Talk Media Project is leading the way in the production of grassroots Black media.